Welcome to the 12th century, more exactly 1187, the year Jerusalem falls once again. What led to that downfall? We fear that because the time has changed, it is quite difficult to explain what the world was like in the 12th century. Getting yourself to think as if you were in the shoes of someone living in this time is what we wish to achieve. How did these people live? Personal relationships were a valuable commodity, and the thing that kept relationships valuable was the trustworthiness of your word. In this time, you could make alliances with literally anyone, including invading forces. That is the main thing to understand. This may be hard to understand, so to show you an example of the feudalist system, we will be using characters you are familiar with.
Bikini Bottom.
What a beautiful day to be a count. Hey, Patrick.
Oh, hey there, SpongeBob.
Patrick, how would you like to come join my kingdom? We could collaborate as allies just like Lord Squidward and King Krabs.
Sounds like a plan to me. Does that mean I can come watch TV whenever I want?
Only if you do a favor for me when I ask.
No problem, buddy.
Well, I'm off to work. King Krabs has summoned me today to work at the Kingdom Krusty Krab.
Why do you have to go there? Can't you just stay here and hunt jellyfish with me all day?
I have to go to work for King Krabs. He gave me my home in exchange for my willingness to work for him. If I don't go to work for him, he will retaliate with the force of 1,000 angry spatula.
I have a spatula.
I do too, but I can't let King Krabs down. He's the reason I have a kingdom to rule over.
Oh, if you don't have a kingdom, that means I can't come over to watch TV whenever I want. You better go to work, SpongeBob.
All right, see you later, buddy.
Squidward, be careful with me money.
Yes, King Krabs. Someday, I'm going to get out of this kingdom. Krusty Krab kingdom. Ha! Krusty. Maybe I could take the Krabby Patty formula and overthrow King Krabs.
Ha! I knew I'd eventually get this fur to betray King Krabs. Good day, Squidward. How are things going here at the Krusty Krabs?
Extra crusty. He.
Yes, I see. I couldn't help but overhear you. You know that you wouldn't be able to get the secret formula from Krabs and get away with it. Look at me. How many times have I tried to get the formula just to be stopped by the blasted Puffin Krabs?
Are you suggesting I back out of my deal with Krabs?
No. I'm suggesting you make a deal with me. I propose.
King Krabs! King Krabs! Plankton is invading!
You better expect the garbage get out of here before it does it to this of you.
I wonder what he wanted to ask.
8 hours later.
Have a good night, King Krabs.
You boys did good today. Make sure you're back here so we can make more money.
Oh yes, looking forward to spend all my time here. Maybe I should go see what Plankton wanted.
See you tomorrow, Squidward.
I can't see what's going on. Plankton, it's Squidward. I came to hear your proposal.
Ah, Squidward, I'm glad you came by. I was wondering if you would hear me out.
I'm tired of that greedy King Krabs. Day in and day out, it's all money.
I see. As I was saying before, I propose we make an alliance. You swear allegiance to me. I will give you one you want, freedom from the King Krabs, and I will give you an equal share in the secret formula. All I ask is we take down Krabs together. Do we have a deal?
Meow.
The next morning.
SpongeBob, have you seen Squidward?
Not since last night, sir.
I guess I'll have to open the doors before he gets here. Squidward, you're late, me boy.
I'm sorry, sir, but I'm right on time.
Squidward, you betrayed me.
I couldn't take another day listening to you and that muffin-head SpongeBob Plankton and I are taking your kingdom and leaving you out in the wind.
SpongeBob, we need to leave now! Ah! What are we going to do?
Not all hope is lost. On our way out, I was able to grab the special formula.
You genius, boy! I'll never be able to repay you.
You can repay me by leading us into battle to take back the Krusty Krab. Are you still friends with King Triton?
I am, but I know he'll only send a few troops, because he also has an agreement with Plankton.
That is okay. I'll call on my favorites of Sir Patrick, Queen Sandy, and Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy.
Oh, I'll also get me daughter Pearl for help. We'll meet back here in 2 days.
On that day, the army under King Krabs advanced on the Krusty Krab, taking it over with ease. The Chumbucket Kingdom and Squidward didn't stand a chance.
You will notice that in this example, nobles are allowed to go back on their word and make alliances with opposing forces. This is directly relatable to the 12th century and the fall of Jerusalem. This type of governing structure was in place during this time. This is what happened.
Hey, Roman, where's the money you owe us on behalf of your regency?
I gave all that to the king you just replaced.
Do you have proof of that?
How am I going to prove that? Before he came here, I had a good relationship with the king. He trusted me, and I expect you to do the same. After all, our word is all we have.
Not true. You also have my land. If you think all you have is your word, you'll soon find out that your word is the bare minimum of your value.
What a prick. I wish I had the pull to be the king here. Maybe I can save this place. I think I need to do something drastic. Lucius, I wish to meet with you at your kingdom. Jerusalem is becoming volatile. The new king is going to be very opposing to you and your people. I fear for the future of the people of Jerusalem and the people of your community. I will await your permission to visit you and your people. Thank you, Roman.
Roman, I have given my people permission to allow you to travel to our kingdom. We will be expecting you soon, Lucius.
Tell Lucius Roman is here.
Ah, Roman, thank you for coming. Please, come in.
Let me get straight to it. Henry wants a war. He doesn't understand the relationships we have built in this community over the years. I do. The way I see it, I am far more fit to be king than that blundering buffoon.
I am honored that you decided to come with me to this. Since the king died, I was uncertain of what relationship would be with the upcoming king. Unfortunately, if I do something about this, King Henry, it will most certainly cause a war.
That is what I want to avoid for my people.
How about this? Our kingdom agrees to leave you and your people alone. We will make you the king of your people when we take over. And on top of that, I will release all the knights of yours that we have taken prisoner over the years.
That sounds great. Did we just become best friends?
Yup.
Want to go do karate in the dungeon?
Yup.
Let's go!
This is a call to arms. Recently, a baron of Al-Karak, Prince Tiran, attacked and captured a caravan of mine people. I have threatened him to release the prisoners or face an armed attack from my kingdom. Tiran has refused to meet my demands, therefore, With your assistance, we will march to Ras Al Ma by the end of April of 1187. Thank you, Lucius.
The battle that took place at Al-Karak left Prince Taran powerless. The fall of this kingdom was devastating for the people of Jerusalem. Taran was an ally of the people of Jerusalem, taking advantage of the opportunity. Lucius and his army were free to pillage, burn, and ravage the whole region. The large army that Lucius had gathered was much larger than the people of Jerusalem had expected. From April of 1187 to May 1187, Lucius ordered his army to invade the region of Acre. Legions of knights attempted to fight off this attack but were unsuccessful. The knights were taken captive or killed. Due to their success, Lucius's army continued invading the surrounding regions. These victories broke the backbone of the Jerusalem armies. Roman had done nothing to stop the invasion of his allied regions.
Roman, thank you for allowing our troops to go through your lands with no issues. Our victories in Al-Karak and the surrounding lands would not have been successful without your help. When we moved on Jerusalem, you will be remembered for your actions. Thank you, Lucius.
Where are Lucius's armies now?
They are currently on Count Roman's land.
Count Roman's land? That bastard allied with Lucius.
Apparently, my scouts say that Roman's people are unarmed.
Bring him in. You traitor, how could you stand by and watch your people get slaughtered? Those knights were either massacred or enslaved. How could you let them go through your land without harassment? You have betrayed us. I have a mind to excommunicate you and annul your marriage.
I'm sorry. I didn't realize how harsh they would be. I was under the influence that they would be peaceful. Lucius told me that he wanted to make a better relationship with us in an attempt to stop a war from breaking out. I beg for your forgiveness.
I'll only grant you forgiveness if you order your knights and armies to help defend our lands. If we survive this attack, I will make sure your transgressions are wiped clean, but only if you help us.
Yes.
By the end of July that year, Lucius's armies had moved on Tiberius, Roman's land. With a small force, Lucius took the city by night. The citizens fled to the citadel where Roman's wife and children were housed. They were able to defend themselves while the town below was torched.
Henry.
Lucius has taken Tiberius. We must retaliate.
Tiberius belongs to me and my wife. There is no question that Lucius is master there now, and that only the citadel remains where my wife is holed up. For my part, if he takes the citadel, my wife, and all my possessions there and then goes away, I shall be happy enough. I have observed armies over the course of years, and I have never seen one equal to Lucius' army here in numbers or in fighting power. If he takes Tiberius, he'll not be able to stay there, and when he has left it and gone away, we will retake it. For if he chooses to stay there, he will be unable to keep his army together, for they will not put up for long with being kept away from their homes and families. He will be forced to evacuate the city, and we will free our prisoners.
You have tried hard to make us afraid of Lucius's armies. Clearly you take their side and your sympathies are with them. Otherwise you would not have spoken in that way. As for the size of their armies, a large load of fuel will be good for the fires of hell.
I am one of you. If you advance, then I shall advance with you. And if you retreat, I shall retreat. You'll see what will happen.
The armies of Jerusalem then marched on Tiberius and Lucius's army. The only reason for the sieging of Tiberius was to force Henry's armies to abandon their positions to meet for battle. Lucius had his troops cut off water supply routes for the incoming armies. By July 24th of 1187, the two armies mounted and a battle ensued. Henry's armies struggled to get to water sources. Completely demoralized and starving of thirst, Henry's armies dwindled. They endured thirst, the summer's heat, the blazing fire and smoke, and the fury of the battle. Roman eventually retreated, and few knights were able to escape the battle. Henry and Prince Taran were captured in the battle. Until this, the armies of Jerusalem had never suffered a defeat. Those who saw the carnage would never have guessed prisoners were taken. Lucius summoned the king and the Prince Taran to his quarters.
You look to be dying of thirst. Have a drink.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I only offered the king a drink. I have told you twice in the past that if I were to have you in my power, I would kill you. I shall return to Tiberius.
Lucius, the land of Tiberius is yours. I only ask that you allow me to leave this castle along with my children and people, never to return. Thank you.
Lady Tiberius, I agree to your surrender, and I will ensure you and your people are available to leave unmolested. Lucius.
The Countess was allowed to leave, though the knights captured in the previous battle were kept. Instead of letting them go, Lucius had all captured knights executed because they were the fiercest of all of Henry's warriors. All knights taken across his kingdom were executed by Lucius's word. King Henry was taken as prisoner and held in the fortress of Nablus. Back in Jerusalem, the inhabitants of the surrounding areas gathered within Jerusalem's walls, each of whom would rather choose death than see Lucius in power of their city. During that interval, they fortified it by all means necessary. They mounted the walls and resolved to defend them to the best of their ability. Once Lucius's armies approached the city of Jerusalem, the fight ensued. When the inhabitants saw how fierce Lucius's armies were attacking, they decided to ask for safe conduct out of the city and to hand Jerusalem over to Lucius.
We shall deal with you just as you dealt with the population of Jerusalem when you took it in 1099, with the murder and enslavement of my people.
Then listen to me. May I have permission to leave?
I guess.
Well, then, if I'm allowed to leave, why can't they?
Why should I show them mercy to the masses when your people have never offered it to my people's masses?
Know that there are very many of us in this city. God alone knows how many. At the moment, we are fighting half-heartedly in the hope of saving our lives, hoping to be spared by you as you have spared others. This is because of our horror of death and our love of life. But if we see that death is inevitable, then, by God, we shall kill our children and our wives, burn our possessions so as not to leave you with a bit of gold or a single man or woman to enslave. When this is done, we shall slaughter the prisoners we have taken, which is around 5,000, along with every horse and animal we possess. Then we shall come out to fight you like men fighting for our lives. We shall die with honor or win a noble victory.
Lucius agreed to these terms after meeting with his advisors. But to give the inhabitants assurances of safety, each man, rich or poor, had to pay 10 denar, children, male or female, 2 denar, and women 5 denar. All who paid this sum were allowed to go free within 40 days. Those who did not pay were taken as slaves. Romans set an example for a number of nobles. The discord and disunity was one of the chief reasons why their towns were reconquered and Jerusalem fell. The government system allowed nobles to make alliances with literally anyone, including invading forces.